Hello, welcome back to episode 7 of Knits'n'Giggles podcast. I'm Brandie.
And I'm Debbie, and I'm glad my partner is keeping track of what number we're on, because I don't know.
7 is my lucky number. I'm really excited about this.
I feel like we need some sort of intro music.
Ooh, I like intro music.
No,
it'd be funnier. Funnier? Because we're funny.
I don't know what it would be then. The chicken dance?
Yeah, or like a laugh roll, like on the old, 90s sitcoms.
Welcome back
to Seinfeld. Knits'n'Giggles, I mean.
I don't think I'm as funny as Elaine or Jerry.
I think you're kind of funny.
I could dance like Elaine, maybe.
I could totally crane her into the door if you want. Just like...
We should make an intro reel.
Oh my gosh, that would be so much fun. Should we do that?
Not right now.
Episode 8. Coming at you.
We will see.
Okay, now that we've chatted nothing for a minute, what are you wearing? That's huge.
I am not wearing a nursing pillow this week. It's just me. Though it has such great arm support. I'm wearing this cowl that I made ages ago.
It's beautiful.
I think last year, actually. No, year before maybe. It's called now I gotta get this right, because if I say it wrong, it could sound weird. The Pinus cowl.
Yes. If you mispronounce it, what would it sound like?
A different vowel. So, Pinus, Pinus. I don't know what that means or why they chose that, but you think that...
I'm going to Google it right now, because
what
curiosity killed the cat.
Pinus. So, this is a DK weight mosaic knit, and if you're familiar with mosaic, it's a way of doing color work that's slipping stitches. So it creates this various mosaic is generally geometric type designs because of the nature of slipping stitches. But yeah, so on the pattern, it has the top one color, the bottom one color. So for example, the bottom would be blue because this is the other contrast. But I decided to do the top and the bottom the same. And I did this little split detail. I don't remember if that's in the pattern or not, but I liked it. So maybe I added it. I don't know. But it looks nice. And I like it. And I've knit this one a couple times. I knit one as a gift as well. Yeah.
Okay. Pinus means a genus of coniferous trees. So it's a I'm guessing like a family of trees.
So
but evergreen.
This could look like sort of an evergreen.
Evergreen is definitely not mentioned
pattern.
Here. So. Mm-hmm.
Huh. Mm-hmm. There we go.
So there you go. Instead of just calling it the evergreen cowl,
they went with Pinus.
However, that
Good
being
choice.
said, maybe they're not English as their first language, and so they don't know. Maybe they're...
Maybe.
You never know.
It could be.
Maybe they just like that name. And that's totally fine.
And you're wearing?
Ooh, yes. I am wearing my Hipster sweater because it's... See? Hipster by...
you haven't worn this yet on a podcast,
not on the
right?
podcast. No, I wore it to Knit City. I finished it right before Knit City. I wore this. Yeah, I haven't worn it. It's super cute. It's sleeveless. With this cute little sleeve detail. If you're familiar at all with the Joji Locatelli patterns, she has you had the Hipster shawl on, I think last week, maybe even. So the Hipster has that design. Yeah. So I made this. Actually, this is kind of a funny story. We went out for Knit Night dinner in June, and Knit City Calgary was August 16th weekend. So it was about two months or 6 weeks before that. And we got to dinner, and Debbie leaned across the table and showed me her phone, and she was like, "Have you seen this new pattern that released today?" And I was like, "No." And then I took the phone and I looked at it, and I super dramatically pulled all my stuff together in my bag. And I'm like, "I gotta go." And Debbie's like, "What? You just got here?" And I was like, "I need to go to my home to find my stash and look at my yarn and make this sweater right now." Make this shirt. And she was like, "What? You're crazy." I'm like, "I know, but I loved the design so much." And I did. I went home and found yarn out of my stash because I have so much fingering weight. It was really important for me to try and find stash. Found stash, cast it on, which was super extra funny because I was actually working on my Brooklyn, which was supposed to be my Knit City top, and then I ended up not even being able to wear it because I didn't finish it.
But she finished this one.
I did. In time for...
And it looks nice. And I didn't finish mine. I ripped it out and rewound the yarn.
Because yours didn't... The size wasn't working, right?
The size was very odd. It was really big, I think. It was really wide. And the shoulder, like your shoulder comes to here.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, like right there. Mine would have been down here.
Yeah.
It was like super dramatically dropped.
How was your gauge swatch?
Well, we don't do those. So that would be why nothing ever fits me.
Unfortunately for you, though, right in that time frame, like about 2 months before we were going to Knit City, everything that you cast on or tried to make was ginormous.
Really big, no matter what gauge, like that one that was the purple one that was like a worsted or DK weight.
Yeah.
And then the fingering weight of this one.
Yeah.
And then that purple one, I ran out of the yarn and I couldn't find that colorway, so I just ripped that out too. I know. It was bad luck. And then I looked at... Brandie made a post on our Instagram this morning with her stack of like knits. And I was like, I have nothing compared to that because I don't finish anything.
And I have more in my closet. I just picked some of them. Did you notice that the like color...
Yeah,
it was very...
they're basically all the same things.
They're very, yes.
The mustard
and some
and blues,
greens, yeah,
and
kind of that all hue,
and even that. Is it your raglan one? That's the crux one, and then the has flecks of blue in it, so they all kind of go together.
Yeah, when I was putting them in the stack, I was like, "This is the easiest stack to make ever," because they all just kind of somehow complement each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
talk about a capsule wardrobe.
Yeah, if you love this as much as I do, I highly recommend it. It was such an easy pattern once you get past the sleeve construction. I only say once you get past the sleeve construction because I made a mistake, and so I did have to go back and fix it. But once you get past there, it's so easy, and this worked up. I don't even know. I was done it way before I needed to be done, and it was like I was working on it, but not. It was summer. I was busy. Yeah, it was lovely. That's what I'm wearing.
Whips.
Yeah, I've got a couple. I have my Suri shirt by Caidree that I'm working on. That the last time we showed it on the podcast, I joked about it looking like a training bra because it wasn't pieced together. Now you can see that it is actually a shirt. So I'm on the body part, and I have to do 17 inches of body, so it's going to be a while.
A little while, but it's just stockinette, so
it's gonna be, it'll work out. The only thing I did was you make the shoulders front and back first, and you do the front, and then you join in the round. When I joined, I didn't mark what my front was and what my back is.
Oh,
and I should have. It didn't tell me
to. Does it matter?
I don't know, but I have no idea how to tell.
I don't know.
Unless...
Oh, maybe from there.
But there would be one on this side too because... See, like... I have no idea.
That one's on this side.
Yeah. But this one, I mean. I guess.
So I guess you'd have to figure out where where it starts to cast on.
Yeah.
And then kind of backtrack to figure out. But maybe it doesn't matter. Are the front and the back exactly the same?
They won't be. They are the same when you're knitting them before you go in the round. And then you have a split hem. So I'll just have to make a decision before I do the split hem. Yeah. Because I think the front or the back might be longer. I'm not sure. And if it's not longer on the split hem, I think I'm going to make my split hem on the back longer. I like the way that looks.
Yes. You know what I mean? On the top part, the construction was the same. So it probably doesn't matter until you choose the bottom.
Yeah. So... Yeah, it'll be okay. But this is working up quite quickly now. And I tried it on. Oh, I thought I had stitch markers. Stitch stoppers.
You're dropping stitches.
Yeah. Whoops. One of my stitch stoppers fell off. One of my sheet fell off. What was I saying?
You think?
I think. Yeah.
I got distracted by the dropping of the stitches.
Because I'm holding yarn together. I think I was going to say that I was worried it would be a little bit big because I did share this already. But when I measured, because I also don't gauge swatch, when I measured a section of it just to see my gauge, I was a little bit big. But which isn't like it was long. so not a huge deal. I was worried about it being a little bit wide. I also ended up doing a bigger size needle, which is, as you probably know, weird because I knit loose, so I usually go down a size of needles, and I go down at least 1, maybe 2 sizes of bust because I always knit big. But I went up a size of needles because the pattern actually calls for half sizes, and we talked about this. I don't have half sizes, and Chow doesn't make half sizes, so I just ended up going up a size, or up half a size, I guess, which is something I don't normally do. But I tried it on, and I'm happy with how it was looking at that point. It wasn't very far over my bust yet. But the pattern itself does not have great instructions on like the ease. So, and people like actually asked like which size should I make, and she said whatever you want for ease, which is a little bit frustrating to me as somebody who's looking at the pattern online and seeing pictures of people wearing it. I like it when people say this person is a size 36 bust wearing a size whatever with this much ease, because then you know how it's gonna fit, right? Like, because I don't know what the model was wearing and how big her bust is and like that. I don't know if it's oversized or if she went down a size or anything like that. So I'm guessing it's gonna be a little oversized. I'm okay with that. I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna look good.
And I think it's tricky to say whatever size you want to, because for a lot of patterns that offer a very large size range. So my bust is 50, and for some of the patterns that are like, say, 10 inches of positive ease, if I were to knit something 60 inches, it would be giant.
Yes.
So often for the larger size busts, they'll say not to have as much positive ease, because then overall the whole body is so much bigger.
Yes.
And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't look as nice. It kind of looks frumpy. So I think it's not very good to say whatever size you want. Like, you're trusting that people know that and have knit garments before.
Yes.
And some don't.
Yeah. Even a brief description of like, this is how much ease was in the picture, to give you kind of an idea of starting point would be good. That's one thing I really love about Andrea Mowry patterns is she always says the intended amount of ease. And I really like that word because that was her intention, what she wants, but that doesn't necessarily, like, it kind of gives that, you don't have to do it like this. You can make it whatever you want. I always make mine a little bit, her patterns tend to have a lot of positive ease, and I don't love that. But also that is why I can go down so many sizes, because I knit loose and I know that there's ease. And a pattern, that's another thing. If you're newly knitting a sweater, picking a sweater pattern that is meant to have a little bit of positive ease is kind of nice, because then you're getting that oversized look, and even if your gauge is a little bit off, it's a little more forgiving.
Forgiving, yes.
Yeah. And the other thing about gauge, because we don't gauge swatch, I feel like I have to defend myself a little bit here, is Andrea Mowry talks about this too. Your gauge changes on your sleeves, and your gauge can also change on your gauge versus your sweater. And like, I'm working on that's my next work in progress, is the framed. And when I switched from going in the round to going back and forth with purl stitches, I can see a little bit of difference in the stitches. So doing a gauge swatch, I'm not saying it wouldn't have helped. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it's not a perfect system. It's not a perfect system. I did a boo-boo on this. I made a mistake. And then, like the advanced knitter I suddenly am, I fixed my mistake without ripping back a whole entire thingy-jiggy.
Oh my God.
So I am finally,
I love it
on
so
the back
much.
stitches. So I somehow, I don't know how I did it, but when you split here, because this is the like collar and then you do the sleeves, you do short rows. Somehow I accidentally had the wrong number. So one less on one side and one more, let's say it should be 235 on each side. One has 34, one has 36. And so when I was doing the short rows on the second side, I didn't realize that I had, because I didn't count. So it kind of messed up. This edge was really wonky. You can't really see, but like here you can kind of see it's like kind of a nice edge. Over here was a really crappy wonky edge. I put it down when I realized that issue because I was pretty frustrated because I would have to take it all back to fix the edge. And then I remembered people talking about using a crochet hook and doing a slip stitch edge, which is exactly what this looks like. There is a bump. I did it, and there is a bump. And I'm going to give it to the rest of the back of the sweater to decide if I am annoyed by the bump or not. I think
is that the shoulder?
No, if it was the shoulder, I wouldn't care because you put it together.
Yeah.
It's the collar. So when you're doing the short rows, you have to decrease stitches. And I think because I was off one stitch, the decrease is not as nice as it is over here.
But I don't remember. Do you pick up and add ribbing on that collar? No.
Mm-mm. This is
just the way it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And then you do I'm guessing a 3 needle bind off to join the top.
Yeah.
So yeah. The other thing is that I originally did this with a bigger crochet hook and it was too loose. So I went down to a smaller crochet hook and now I think it might be a little too tight. And it honestly takes me like a minute to do it. So I might rip it out again and try with in the middle hook and see what happens and see if I can get rid of this bump. My other thing is what I might do is do the edge all the way across so that it's uniform. Right. And then it will get rid of the bump as well because that bump is because I had to weave in my end.
Right.
So 99% sure I'm not ripping back this short row situation and I'm going to make it work. Mm-hmm. I'm just a little worried about me going out in public and Rona being like, Brandie, do you like your collar?
Do you like that?
Do you like that?
Yes, I do.
I do. And like, don't look at my collar so closely. Oh well. Yeah, but this isn't it? I'm so excited.
I've forgotten what colors I even picked for mine at this point.
Yeah, you should guess that one that you would remember.
I know.
A dark blue or green.
Yeah, and the
Teal?
shoulders are like a brighter green.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should get that.
I know, but I cast on something else last night, so.
Another emotional support chicken?
No.
I can't wait to see your whips.
Okay.
Hit me with it.
Well, you've
That's
seen
a cowl.
Yes, you've seen this one, so I can show like I made a little tiny bit of progress, but not much.
There's a color. Look, this and this are very similar.
They are sort of
Same color family,
but I love it. I like the construction of this. So this is actually the top, hey, and this edge is not an I-cord edge.
Oh,
so this edge is actually where it will connect at the back.
Oh.
So when it's on, it will actually be.
Yeah, I wasn't really interested in making that until I'm seeing your colors and with the variegated.
Yeah.
Because I like how it's not so stark as the white and black. This is the 9-Day Cowl by Andrea Mowry.
I should have said that.
That's okay.
Yeah. I'm using DK weight. I don't remember if it calls for DK weight. Let me check my notes. I just wrote that I'm using DK. So, maybe. Yeah. So that is that one. But then my other one that I cast on last night. So. It doesn't even say on here. Debbie. The Ash Slipover V-neck by Caidree.
Wow. Debbie.
I decided to try it.
I love it.
How I like it working up. So I'm using a variegated yarn with a Suri. Feel it. Oh, I talked to my phone now. It's talking back. Go away.
Suri, not Siri. That's incredible.
So it kind of tones it a little.
It really does tone it down a little bit. So Debbie got this yarn from her husband. It's a sweater quantity, and she wanted the blue just toned down a little bit. And we were shopping at the Fiber Nook this weekend, and she decided to pair it with a Suri. I didn't think it was going to look that amazing. I was a negative Nancy.
This is not my usual colorway.
No.
But my husband's well-intended and kind and listens to me listening to watching podcasts and knew that, 5 or 6 years ago I was like, oh, ooh, I like the Lolabean yarn. So he ordered me a sweater quantity of it and picked the color because of the name, which some people do.
But the name also is Sloth, and like you are obsessed with Sloth. So it was very, very well intentioned.
Yes. So
but that will look amazing over a shirt or something. It's gonna be lovely as a vest.
Now, I made a note though in my whip notes that says, rethinking this, and may decide to make the Pip and Pin catbells cardigan with it instead.
Oh, I could see that being very nice.
Because it's like,
would you make it with the mohair? Or the Suri, sorry?
Yes.
Suri, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it would basically be the same, but the catbells is more lacy.
It is.
So it also reduce the
color.
Yeah, like
pops.
Because it would totally change the fabric.
Yeah, I could see that. And as a cardigan too, it's a very neutral.
Yes.
Like the pops of blue, you can wear it over.
Because
you don't wear it. You're actually wearing.
I'm wearing black today.
You never wear black.
Very rarely.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I'm this far. I thought, well, I'm not gonna swatch, but I'll cast on something and see how I feel about it.
Yeah.
And I'm liking how
it
it's looking together. So I'm using this. This is my acquirement. I'm jumping ahead, obviously. The Cumulus by Fyberspates. How do you say that? Fyberspates?
I think Fyberspates, yeah.
And it is a alpaca mulberry silk blend. Ta-da! And I only bought 2 of these. I will need more. I don't think I'll need more for this, but I will definitely need more for if I do the catbells. Yeah. So that's my other whip. But I was just like, I'm going to cast something on and I'm going to see how this goes. Because I was feeling...
I love it.
Like I needed something.
Forget about a gauge watch and just jump right into it. Figure it out.
Yeah.
I like it. I think it'd be really nice as a vest, but I also think it'd be nice as the catbells.
And I do like that pattern.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I did my whips. You did your whips. Your requirements. I've got some requirements too. Yeah. I went to the Fibre Nook with Debbie on Saturday, and I just needed a cord because I actually had to use the cord that I was using for the framed on my Suri shirt, and because I'm working on both of them at the same time, I needed another cord. Which is why I haven't worked on my framed in over a week, because I didn't have a cord, and then Saturday when we got home from the yarn shop, I was tired and I didn't want to mess up, so I didn't do it. I also bought that Fyberspates Suri in the color early gray.
I love that color.
And I bought Oyster from Brian Dye Works, and you're like, doesn't that look very familiar? Yes, it does, because it's in my frame.
She likes the same colors.
Apparently. I don't think I've ever bought the same yarn, though, for a different project.
Right.
I'm going to pair them together, and I'm going to make I wrote it down. Dun, dun, dun. No, I'm just kidding. Take Your Time Slipover by Caidree. And
what does that look like?
I'm going to show you because I put the link in my notes.
We're getting better at this.
I'm so much better. It's a very basic vest. And it's knit with Aran weight held with mohair. So I went with DK held with Suri, and I think it'll be fine. I'm planning to make it a little bit oversized because I want it to be able to like fit over a long sleeve. And I wear a lot of neutrals. My closet is basically all the same color. So I originally was going to make a rust colored vest. I was going to step outside of my comfort zone. This is what jumped in my cart.
It's so nice, though.
It is so nice. It's going to be great.
I greatly encouraged this purchase.
She did. I'm excited. I actually was envisioning a gray or like that sort of tone of vest anyway. So I feel like God,
this color's so good.
My vision came to life.
Love it. It's great. I can't wait to see it together.
We'll see when I have time to cast it on. don't think I've ever done 2 sweaters at the same time, and I'm not regretting it per se. I'm not regretting it, but it is definitely, I'm feeling anxious isn't the right word, but pressure, I guess. Like, because I want to work on both of them. And
and wear them both. It's exciting.
It's so exciting, yes. But it is nice to have the Suri shirt versus the framed, because the framed I cannot knit on in public when I'm talking and stuff. So it is nice to have a project that I'm working on that's not a sock that I can be excited about.
And they're very different.
They are very different.
Like different color, different weight.
Yes.
Different styles. Like the Suri shirt's a t-shirt.
Yeah, so. That's super great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
FOs?
Yeah. I feel like I've talked a lot. Do you want to talk?
Sure. So, we all know what these are. The Cadillac Knot ear warmer, because I've shown them for the past month. But now I've made more. So I have 6 of them currently. I have to make one more for my niece. But they're super fast. Yeah.
Great gifting.
I know, because they're so fast, and they're brioche, and they're bulky. And this one's wider than the other ones. And I don't really pay attention very much to, like, I think the pattern calls to cast on 10 for bulky and 8 or something for super bulky. I think I was just doing 10 regardless. So this one's wider than, say, this one, because this one's a little bit of a thinner weight. But they cover the ears.
And that's really all that matters.
So that, yeah. And they're so fast.
Nice.
And then I was like, I really like knitting this brioche. And I'm like, maybe I can knit a sweater like this.
I love brioche, the look of brioche sweaters, but I have never done brioche.
So squishy.
I'm intimidated.
I can show you right now. It's very easy. Well, this stitch. Give me a needle.
Give me a needle. Yarn, stat.
Yes. So these are my gift ear warmers that I will gift next week.
Nice.
On this bag.
My turn?
Yeah.
All right. Well, last time on the podcast we talked about, or maybe 2 times ago, I don't know. We talked about
last time.
It was last time, yeah. Talked about like some gift things, and Debbie shared a bookmark pattern, and I forget what it was called, the Love bookmark or something like that. It's free on Ravelry, and I went home. It's fingering weight, and I made a boatload of them. This, I don't know if it catches, but it's got gold sparkles. I made a little
the With Love bookmark by Haley Quinn.
Okay, so
there.
My bookmarks are all getting. I made
Look
1,
at
2,
them
3,
all.
4, 5, 6 like this. I'm actually so what I'm doing with them is, we're gifting my niece and nephew Chapters gift cards, and then we're going to do an experience with them, probably take them to a baseball game or something like that later on in the year. But because we're doing Chapters gift cards, I'm going to give them each a bookmark. I'm going to give my mother-in-law a bookmark and a Chapters gift mark as well, or gift. These are all tingles. And I'm probably going to give my sister-in-law a bookmark because she reads, and my co-teacher. And then when I started, I'm going to show you, I brought it. So this gold.
Oh my God, I love them.
Stuff that I held with yarn, fingering weight yarn.
Oh.
It's like basically, it's from Michael's. It was super cheap. I want to say it's under $10, and this is what a full one. It's nice teal. It's a lot of string. It's very thin, but I held it double, and then it gives you like all this glittery stuff. So I made all those.
These two or that one?
No, this is yarn. The teal is a yarn. But I was like, I really want to showcase the gold in this. And this one's a little different. You can see it doesn't have the top, and it's skinnier. But this one's for me. And I wanted a skinnier one. I also was worried I was going to run out of the green. So I made it skinny, and I love it. And now I think I'm going to make more skinny ones. I am the person who loses my bookmark all the time. Like, I find it eventually, but so I think I'm going to make myself a whole bunch of these. And I can't wait to use this bright teal in it. Yeah.
I love
Right?
them. You can like use all your little scraps.
Yeah,
like
and look at this. I got this like string stuff too that I don't even know what I bought it for, but it's also lace weight and it's got sparkles. Basically, I went downstairs and found all the sparkly yarn. Yeah, so I made like 6 or 7 of them, and I'm gonna gift a bunch of them and keep a couple, and they took no time at all. Like, I don't think I sat down and knit one, but I would say like 45 minutes max.
Which did you use your sock, like your 9-inch circulars to do these?
Yeah, I just went back and forth. Yeah. And because I knit loose, my sock needles are size 0, which is like, I don't know what that is, millimeters. But it calls for a bigger needle than that. So, and you totally could make a bigger needle than that. See?
Cute.
Yeah, I'm obsessed. I just want to make all the bookmarks.
You could sell them.
No, it's too much work. No.
Selling knitting isn't that fun.
Not
because
really.
It's not as fast as other things. Like, I know people use the circular knitting machines to make the hats and stuff. They're so fast. But, like,
no.
doing stuff like this, you could not, and I know people do, sell it. But I feel like when you're doing that, it's like almost like you're donating your time then and you're just selling for charity or something. Because to actually make money
with your time
on knits plus the materials,
well,
you have to charge so much.
This would be like, if I was making minimum wage, I'd have to like charge at least $30 for it. Like,
yeah,
who's paying $30?
Who's paying $30 for a bookmark?
Yeah.
So no. Just forgive
So
us.
no.
So
that's all I have finished.
That's all. There's lots of them there.
I meant like I don't have anything different.
Oh.
That's it. That's all.
Okay. I finished this finally.
Yay! What's so sparkly?
And I'll put it on. So this is the Magpie Darling shawl by Amanda Kafka, who is the Crafty Jackelope. And I was doing this, as I've talked about before, as a sample knit for Frankie Gray Fibres, because it uses their Majestic fluff, which was a cashmere Suri blend, and held with the blingy string stuff.
It is quite large.
Blingy string from Crafty Jackelope. Crafty Jackelope does sell kits. You know, it is, but I would still say that it's smaller than what she intended, I think. Because it doesn't have, like, it's hard to, I blocked this so I could make sure I got, like, the point nicely. But it doesn't have a lot of stretch because of that string, right? Like the sequin.
Oh,
So it's harder to block it
I see.
to make it as big as it probably could be.
Yeah.
On a superwash yarn, for example. But, yeah, it's like...
I like it, though. It's a nice size. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty. It's very blingy.
Blingy and shiny. Ta-da! So,
Nice.
I will be honest that I don't think I will ever knit with sequins again.
Really?
I don't think so. I found it to be very snaggy as you're trying to like loop through because the sequins get stuck. And although it looks really nice, I don't know that I would really wear this. Like I do find that a little bit scratchy on my skin.
We've talked about
like I can feel it on the back of my neck.
I think it's Amanda Kafka. It has the hat too, right?
Yes.
And she does it double brim, and the inside doesn't have the sequins, but the outside does.
Yeah.
And I thought that would be good, but I just like the way hers looks.
Yeah. Like they're cute.
Yeah.
And I think if you're knitting this as a gift for somebody, they'd think it's really fancy.
Yeah.
Because it has this special fiber in it.
Yeah.
But for myself, I don't know that I would knit with it again, like for me.
Yeah.
And this isn't for me anyway, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
But it was a fun experience to try and knit with it, because then I now know that I probably won't buy that to knit for myself. And I was always curious, like, I wonder what that's like to knit with, and how does that feel?
And now you know.
Now I know. But one day when Canada Post works again, I will be able to send this back to Joji, and she can wear it or gift it or put it on display, whatever she's planning on doing. I'm not sure. But yes. that is that.
Cool.
But the pattern is nice, and I would knit the pattern again. Like, it's very easy. But I wouldn't knit it with the sparkles. I would just pick something else. Just a fingering weight, maybe.
Yeah.
Or DK. You could have a really big one. Yeah. We're flying through our podcast today.
We are, and I have like nothing.
Well, I have patterns to talk about.
I tried to find some, and I'll talk about one, but I didn't write down notes, but I will.
I think I have
Just feeling uninspired.
4 because I was like, are we talking about patterns right now?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I have nothing else. I
Okay.
have a book rack, and that's it. So.
Okay. So remember that video that you sent me of the Mother Ewok?
Yes, the hood.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I started looking at hoods, and there's actually a lot on
There's
Ravelry.
I think because I liked that video, all of a sudden my Instagram's like, she must want to knit a hood. And now every second reel is of hoods.
Of these hoods. So that one is called the Sisterhood, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll bring it up. Is that the one?
I feel like that is her.
Yes.
You got to watch I hope, maybe I'll share it to our Knits'n'Giggles Instagram account. This lady, she makes this video of like what inspired her to make the hood, and it's really funny. Sound on. I'll share it to the Knits'n'Giggles stories, or even maybe just to the page or whatever.
So this one, like, it's very hood-like when you look at the back because it's got like the little point, but it also seems just like almost like because of the front, it's almost like just a cowl that's pulled up over your head.
Yeah. Well, she says that in her video that like it's like multifunctional. It's a cowl. It's a hood. It was meant to be
like this.
like this.
It reminds me,
little babushka.
it reminds me of a sandworm. Do you know what sandworms are? Imagine I had teeth.
It reminds me. Okay, stop. That's creepy. It reminds me of like the little old lady that's like toothless. I don't know what she
Toothless.
She's like,
Just to be toothless.
I don't know. No, she's like she's in something. She's like in a TV show or something. Something that my kids watch, I think. And she's like, she's gonna really pull it on. Maybe it's a sandworm. That's what. Just go with
sandworm with the teeth around it, and it's like anyway.
So you found a hood.
Yes. Now there's other hoods. So then I saw this one. And I like this one. It's the Lena Hooded Cowl. And this one's by Irene Lynn.
Oh, I like that.
It's like broken rib. Mm-hmm. And it just looks like I could, if you're wearing the right top or sweater and it's long enough to tuck in. Because I feel like with that other one, it's not as deep.
Yeah.
So it's almost like it sits on top, and I feel like it would just let air into the back of my neck, like between my top and my hood.
Yeah.
But this one like tucks in.
I've seen people style ones like that where they say like if you're wearing a crew neck instead of like a hoodie, you put it on and then you wear it just like that. Oh, and she has a button on her.
This one has buttons that close it. Which, yeah, so I liked this one. It's bulky weight. And then the other one that I found was I think it's Joji, maybe Jose Hood by Norgard Knitters, and it's Aran weight. So this one is quite bulky down the neck. There's lots of fabric there. And then it has an I-cord string on it. And it's garter, so it'd be pretty quick. But look at that construction of it. Like it just... It's kind of like it's like this part then wraps around. Like
it looks kind of like a baby bonnet. Kind of like,
so you can see how it like would that it would come out here and then wrap around your neck. So it has a lot more bulk, like a cowl.
Yeah, that really reminds me of like a baby bonnet.
And then the fourth one was the.
Did you find four hoods?
Yes.
Yeah.
But this one is the one that sent me on this because I'm like, oh, another hood on Instagram. That's like that video that Brandie sent me. But this one is by Laura Nelkin, and it's a hoodola. It's a hooded cowl. She
Sounds fancy. Ah, look at my hoodola.
This one reminds me of the little old lady type hood.
It's beautiful though.
It looks cozy.
It
And
does
I
look
like
cozy.
in her description, she's like, for the people who don't want to wreck their hair with hats and
Yeah.
if you have curly hair and all these things. But
Oh, I love how that looks there.
like it also has quite a longer cowl.
Mm-hmm.
But she even says...
And is it held double with something? It looks...
So it's DK weight.
Halo.
She is holding 3 things.
Oh, wow.
Or she's just suggesting. Oh, those are just suggested yarns. But it's a DK weight. And she's using in this one I think it's the Camarose Snefnug, which is more of a fuzzy fiber.
Okay. It looks like it has a halo on it. That's why I asked.
But she said that this pattern says, from fearless beginners to expert knitters looking for soothing knit to sink their needles into. It's an oversized hood, perfect for those of us who don't want their hair crushed by a hat.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was
your hood adventure.
My hood adventure. I don't know that I'll make one of these. Maybe. I could see it being a gift knit for the right person, especially the bulkier ones. But I love the texture on half fisherman's rib or broken rib or whatever it's called. Like, I just really love the texture of it. It looks so squishy and cozy, like this picture. Yeah. And it'd be cute with like a sweatshirt.
It would be.
That doesn't have a hood on it. Yeah. Like them. Those are my hoods.
That's cool. I'm glad that you went on a little hood adventure. This came across my Instagram, and it's so handmade by RJ is who posted it, and I'll show you in a second. But the description, the post is actually not in English. So it says, I have made a few extra entries on the body and have crocheted an edge around the sleeve. But what it is it is the Gujo sweater, but this particular maker made it into a vest instead. So I'll show you that. I really like this. I'm not usually drawn to things that are really high on my neck, but during Christmas time when I'm not working, I like to lounge around my house in really cozy clothes. And a few years ago, I wore this sweater that I got from the thrift store. I bought it for like cheap. It's cheap knit. Like it's probably polyester. It's not whatever. I don't love the feel of it. I bought it before I started knitting. It's quite cheap feeling, and I don't love the feel of it. But it's huge, and it's, I don't know, like smooshy. It's like looks like fake brioche. And I wore it so much that my husband was like, I had to go back to work. So I teach, so I get the 2 weeks off at Christmas or whatever. And I think this was during when there was like some extra time off at Christmas, so we had 3 weeks off. And towards the end, he was like, "Oh, are you going to wear something different to work?" He might have also made a joke about maybe I'm going to have to put on a bra because yes, I also wore it braless. All right. But anyways, I'm going to show you the sweater version of it. The maker posted this reel.
That's so nice.
Yes. And so look at how like
squishy and the arms and
like, it's not something that I would normally be drawn to, but I'm like, I could make the vest and just live in it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? It looks like just
what yarn weight is that? Bulky?
Cozy. I don't know because I didn't actually look up the...
I like the vest.
I was not prepared to show that.
Because I like cowls, and the vest is like a cowl.
Yeah.
It just goes up higher.
And I would wear the vest, I think, out in public. The shirt was too much. I think too much fabric for me. But I would definitely wear the vest out in public. And like on a warmer spring day, put that over top of a dress or something. Yeah, I think that would be good.
Cozy.
Yeah. I'll add it to my list.
Very long list.
I have so many patterns already that I'm like, knit the patterns you own, Brandie. Knit the patterns you own. Oh, look, a new pattern. Purchased.
I know. Like if I went through all the patterns and how much money I've spent on the patterns and how many I've actually made. I'm supporting those creators.
Let's not talk about
One
those
day
things.
maybe I'll make
I don't
them
know
all.
why you're talking such negative talk about it.
I don't know.
This is a knitting podcast.
Buy all the
I
patterns.
encourage you to buy our patterns.
Knit nothing, but buy them all.
Knit nothing. Before we get into book rec, do you want to talk about what we've been up to?
What have we been up to?
Well, on Saturday we went to a bunch of Christmas markets, and
We did.
Debbie and I, we stopped at this one market, and there was this lady selling jam. And I was like,
I forgot about that.
how did you forget about this? So Debbie was chatting, and I'm looking at the jam, and the lady had like a deal, like buy 5, save $2, something like that. It was $3.50. But I was like, I love jam. I personally love jam, but my family doesn't eat a lot of jam. So I do make jam sometimes myself, but I also thought my youngest does like jam occasionally, and so I thought, this would be a really good stocking stuffer. So anyways, I'm looking, and I pull this one jar off, and I meant to bring it with me, but I didn't. I've hidden them in my house because they're gonna be stocking stuffers.
I should go get mine.
I don't remember what the name of the berry was, but it was like, this cloudberry or something, and I was like, it wasn't cloudberry because I know what cloudberries are. It was something else, anyways, and I was like, what exactly is this to the maker? And she's like, it's this berry, and I was like, yeah, I can read that. What does it taste like? And she's like, it's sweet. I was like, because jam is sweet. But she goes on to say that it is actually ash berry,
mountain ash
berries from the mountain ash tree, and she goes, they're actually poisonous. But she read that if they're frozen, they're no longer poisonous. And she says to us, so don't worry. The berries have been frozen 3 times, twice on the tree before she picked them. And then she put them in her cold freezer and froze them. So they're no longer poisonous, according to the interweb. And Debbie and I both bought that jam. We didn't put it back like smart people. No, we were like, poisonous jam.
Let's try it.
Curious. Don't worry, it's been frozen.
We're trusting the jam lady that she knows what she's talking about. We shouldn't do that.
I should have asked, have you tried your jam? That's what I should have said. Have you eaten your jam? Because when I asked you what it tasted like, she said, quite sweet. That's not like a flavor note. It doesn't say like, sort of like blueberries and raspberries. No, quite sweet. Well, yes, jam is. She even said, it is quite sweet because there's half sugar. Well, okay, jam lady.
Are we going to die from its rowan berry?
Rowan berry.
That's what
Yes,
they're called.
rowan berry.
Rowan berry.
Yeah. But the moral of the story here is that Debbie and I still bought the jam. And then in my car, Debbie brings this up, and I'm driving, and I was laughing so hard I was crying. And she tells me that she bought some other kind of jam, rhubarb jam. She bought rhubarb jam, but her family doesn't like rhubarb jam. She does, so she knows that they're going to eat the rowan berry jam.
I bought it thinking of them. I'm so thoughtful.
They're not going to eat my rhubarb jam. They're going to eat the rowan berry jam. Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, but then I did Google it, and they're not poisonous.
No, it's not. They're an analgesic.
Analgesic.
And an anti-inflammatory. And you need to eat it in small doses because it can be cause probably
Gastro upset.
Yeah. So
acidity.
A lot of herbs. It's fine.
Yeah. But I do know that there's an animal rescue, Wild North, that rescues birds and stuff. And they actually had posted about before it snowed, that if you're, doing your tree trimming and all these things, not to trim off all the mountain ash berries and to leave them and let them have first frost, and then cut the branches and donate them to Wild North because they will save them for the birds they bring in to care.
So once they freeze
Yes.
they're not poisonous to birds either.
That's right. The birds will not eat them before first frost.
Okay, so here's my question for the podcast listeners. If you were at the market, if you picked up that jam, and if the ladies told you that it might be poisonous, would you have Brandie and Debbie and bought the jam? Or B, politely put the jam back on the shelf and bought something else? I'd like to know who's adventurous like we are.
Or silly and other words that are not as nice.
Also, do we think that the jam lady is regretting telling us that she made poisonous jam? Like, because I would say something like that, like, oh yeah, usually these berries are poisonous, but don't worry, they've been frozen 3 times. And then I would go home and I'd lie awake in my bed going, Brandie, why did you tell people that the jam was poisonous? Like, why would you say that out loud?
But the thing is, we bought the last 2 jars that were there.
Oh, good. They were probably the only 2 left. The only jars.
The only ones she made. I don't know. So
popular. Poison. Yeah. Poison is popular.
We went to the first one we went to, the first craft sale. We got baking from 6th graders. Have you eaten any of the baking?
No, because I froze it. And
I didn't. I put it on the counter and my family's basically eaten it all.
Oh. Well, almost. I bought mine as stocking stuffers. Mars stocking stuffers, I like to try to buy mostly consumables or things like socks for my kids. So I bought caramels from there, which were $4 a bag. And they're like pretty big bags. And they were already like packaged in Grinch bags. And I also bought this little star Rice Krispie squares, which also freeze well. So, and I got the last 2 little containers. So I'm not sure how I'm going to do that because Jeff likes Rice Krispies too. So I'm not sure if I'm giving the kids the Rice Krispies or I really could have used the third one.
Open and putting some in a separate thing. So I bought the Mars peanut butter Rice Krispie square things.
Yes.
They're like
gone.
Almost gone. There's a few left. I think all of the star Rice Krispie squares, those are gone. But there are some blueberry muffins still. But these 6th graders did all this baking and then were selling it to raise money for their 6th grade celebration. Yeah. So
they were 2 boys standing there. They were so cute. Like, this is for our grad. We did the baking. Yeah. I love supporting local. And I love supporting kids like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then what else did we do? Oh, we went to a bigger market and it was insane. Like, insane. You just like got in a line and just walked with people. But we did find some cool things there. We found non-alcoholic herbal beverages that we tried that were really good. What was the
brand of those?
I don't know. And I didn't.
We're not very good at sharing information today.
No. I will find the brand and then we can put it in the notes.
Yes.
But the artwork on these cans was stunning. And I said to the owner, she was giving us samples and stuff, and we were having a conversation. I said, the artwork is stunning. And she's like, oh, thank you. She said, each can is designed after a folklore. And I was like, wow, what a great idea. And then she went on to say that the people who did the branding for her, she just kind of gave them like, this is kind of what I want. Like, didn't tell them about the folklores or anything like that. And they came up with 2 different designs, and one was based on the folklore. So I thought, that's genius.
Very creative.
Very creative.
That's what were her prompts. It was herbal remedies modernized or something like that.
What is the business name? I wish I could remember it. Yeah, modernized. Because it also had something to do with the business
Wildflower. Wildflower? Let's Google.
Yeah, I don't know. And then she had bags as well, tote bags, and they were so beautiful. The artwork was like, I would honestly frame some of that artwork and put it in my house on a can. And they tasted delicious. And like I said, they're non-alcoholic, but she said that you could add alcohol to them if you wanted. I like to have festive drinks on hand that aren't alcoholic so I can enjoy them. I do drink alcohol sometimes, but it's nice to have non-alcoholic one sometimes.
My stomach is growling, apparently. Non-alcoholic herbal drinks. I'm adding in all these keywords until it... Wild folk?
Yes, that's it. Yes. That's totally them. Yes. Wild folk beverages.
Shop cocktails. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There you can like see the side of the box there that has like some of the artwork, and then the cans are just pretty. Wild folk. And then yeah, she has the bag, which is super cute. Yeah. There it is. She has socks too apparently on here.
Oh,
little socks. The bag.
And the bag has a flat bottom, which I appreciated in a tote. Makes it.
Yeah, I really liked the bag.
Mm-hmm.
It's only $12. I feel like it was more money at that. I would have bought one if it was only $12 instead of carrying around my beverages because I didn't bring a bag with me for some reason.
Well, I brought the world's smallest bag.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm using those as stocking stuffers as well for my husband. I bought the mix pack. Yeah.
And on Sunday, I went to another craft fair. I went to the Butterdome.
You did go to
craft
the
sale.
Butterdome and find anything good?
Well, I got our annual ornament that I buy every year. They're polymer clay family ornaments. And I've been getting them since
The Butterdome is a huge craft
huge.
sale here.
Hundreds of vendors there.
And it's 3 days, I think. 4 days, yeah.
Thursday to Sunday.
Yes.
And Thursday and Friday are actually their longer days. They go till 9 p.m.
Yeah.
But Saturday, Sunday, it's only till 4 or 5.
I'm guessing because less people work on Saturdays and Sundays, right?
Yes, that makes sense. And those are long days for those market people, like to stand there and be on the whole time. What did I buy? I mostly bought consumable things. I bought like salsa and chips that are made locally, and then apple cider, which I'm drinking right now, and butter tarts. Yeah, and then my daughter bought some Christmas presents for her brother and his girlfriend, and one for me, but she was like, go away, and sent me somewhere, and she was shopping.
It'd be a surprise.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. So that was basically, and I went to IKEA. Other than that, there hasn't been a lot. I've been working.
Yeah.
I haven't been up to anything else exciting.
No,
besides trying to kill my family with jam.
It's going in someone's stocking. I don't know who I'm killing yet. It's Russian jam roulette.
Yes. You'll just turn them all backwards and put it in somebody's stocking. Mm-hmm. And you get to die today. Merry Christmas.
People are gonna be like, what? What are we watching?
This is a knitting podcast.
I'd like to put a disclaimer in here. I am really into herbs, so I know that like most herbs are not. They're like even. Did you know that wild mint is technically poisonous? If you eat enough copious amounts of it, drank it, it would be not great for you. So a lot of herbs are like that, and a lot of herbs, if you freeze them or like first frost, then they become more potent. Or you don't want to have too many herbs in any amount of copious amounts. Lots of them are detoxers, so they flush out your liver. Well, you don't want to flush out your liver all the time, like that's not good. So, and you want to make sure those toxins are leaving your body. Our knitting podcast just turned into an herbalist special. Moving on. I really like herbs. Okay,
in 2 weeks we'll bring out the herbology books.
I have so many. Which one should I bring? I'm actually drinking tea, wild mint that I picked myself, lemon balm that I grew myself, and rose hips that I picked myself after the first first frost, because then the vitamin C is more potent.
I'm not that fancy.
I know.
I bought apple cider syrup that I put into hot water. That's as far as I go.
Book Rex. I see this book on, and I just ordered it from Libby. I'm waiting for it. Is it good?
Well, it is good. I am only
You're not finished it.
No.
Do you ever come on here with a finished book?
No. I am on page 19.
Okay.
But the first 19 pages are great.
Excellent.
It's very engaging already. And I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to get into this more. But the funny thing is, see how this says 1 week loan only?
Yes.
I've had it for 2 weeks. So I need to hurry up and read this and return it, because soon the library's going to start sending me lots of emails being like, return that book.
How were you able to keep it?
What are they going to do? Come take it from me? What do you mean?
No, but me and my anxiety would be like, Brandie, return the book.
No,
I would not be able to think
I want to finish it. And they don't charge late fees, so they're just hoping I return it soon.
So a few weeks ago I talked about The Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. And it's a 3-book series, and I just wanted to update because I'm going to show you. This is the Prison Healer cover. So I read this while I was on vacation, and I really liked it. It's a fantasy genre book, I would say. Fantasy young adult fiction. I found it to be quite a easy read and like not too complicated to follow. But I was able to get the next 2 books, and I read them really close and back to back because I let them sit in my Libby for I was just so busy. But then I started reading the second book, and the third book was they were both gonna lapse in 4 days. So I was like, I need to read these. But the reason why I wanted to talk about it is because I already talked about the first one. And sometimes when you read a series that's like 3 books or 4 books long, sometimes the first book is really good. It's kind of like a season of TV. Mm-hmm. The first few seasons are really great, and then it becomes repetitive, and you're like, meh. So now that I've read the entire series, I would still give it about 4.5 stars. I thought it was, it was pretty good. I liked it. It's not, there's like a romantic sort of relationship budding, but there's nothing. Like they're young adults, and they're just fighting for their lives, and and there's like some magic and fantasy and stuff like that. But the writing is really well done, and I thought there was lots of like, I love it when books surprise me when I can't anticipate what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And there were a few points in the storyline where I was like, holy crap, I did not see that twist coming. There was actually a couple that I was like, really well written. And then once the secret comes out, the surprise happens, I think it's also really good writing when you're like surprised by it, but then you're like, oh, there was all these clues and I missed them. So that's how I felt the writing was really well done. So if you're into fantasy.
I returned a book today that I had purchased because Brandie said it was bad. And then when she told me about it, I was like, yeah, I don't think I want to read that book.
Well, just get it from the library like I did.
Yes. And actually, when I bought it, it was a Black Friday door crasher thing. So I actually only paid like $13 for it. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, no, I'll just take it back and I'll get it from the library. But I don't remember the title of it now. Megan Quinn.
My Neighbor Who Stole Christmas.
Yes. Which is surprising because we love Megan Quinn.
Yeah, we really do. There's only one book that I've read of her so far that I was like not my favorite. And it wasn't her writing. It was the female lead character that really bothered me. No, I haven't finished it. I haven't read any more since I told you about it. I'm 170 pages in, and it's like nothing has happened. It's a lot, and it's the way it's written is very interesting. You might like it. I don't know.
Well, I returned it, and I will just get it later from the library.
Yeah, fair enough. I would have done the same thing, I think, if I didn't know if I loved it or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all I have. Anything else? Mm-hmm. What do you have?
That's all I have.
That's all you have? All right.
That's the end.
We're going to be back right before Christmas, and
we will.
Yeah.
And the outro music. Cue.
No, don't ever do that again. Goodbye. Thanks for joining us.